we are on our way to Hegra, this UNESCO World Heritage Site. That it's the only one in Saudi, and it's a special place regardless. And very, very ancient. So we've just arrived at Hegra, and we are at the Hegra Welcome Center. And beautiful little center, and we're going to be taking one of those cars over there. And yeah, everybody's dressed so nicely with the colors. Get some information about the location here. So what's that? 16th to 20th century. Oh, so here we're going back to the Paleolithic period, Bronze Age, kingdoms of Arabia, Roman. What's in here? Reconstruction project. So they reconstructed one of the faces, which I think is here, and that was from IGN 117. Wow. Sorry. So we are getting into an old Land Rover with some of the presenters from Aula Wellness Festival. So we're getting in. Go ahead. Here we go. Scorpion. Everybody. Hi. Hello. All these amazing presenters. Yeah, good luck with the seatbelt.
It's not happening.
I gave like a driver a 3-star review, and my friend was like, "Don't do that." I was like, "There was no seatbelt." She's like, "There are no seatbelts." I was like, "He was on his phone the whole time." Yeah, there you go. So apparently this is a really old tomb that we're walking to right now. Oh, look at the landscape. Well, they've got some guards to the tomb here. It's pretty cool. Wow, so this was a population that was the same as the Petra one in Jordan, and the longest standing, I guess.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we are in front of a unique tomb, or as called by the way in English is Indian. And it's indeed very unique, and its uniqueness came from its being the only tomb in the south part of the heritage site. Also, this tomb is the biggest tomb in the heritage site. Also, it's the only tomb that has taken a whole mountain for itself. But with all these unique features, although this tomb is not completed to a certain point, and because it's not completed, now we understand the method or the steps of carving a tomb like this, because we discovered that there's also other tombs around the heritage site that also they are not completed. And we discovered that all the uncompleted tombs, they are finished from the top part where the staircase shape is located. It's finished. But under that is not finished in some of the tombs. Some other is finished until they reach the entrance level, but they didn't complete in the decoration and smoothing of the surface. Similar to this one over here. If you take a look at the entrance level, you're going to see that there's a horizontal line to the right and left of the entrance, under that line, the surface starts to become rough, not like the smooth surface on the top. And down on the very bottom, you're gonna see that there's rectangular shaped rocks. And this part is the unfinished part of the tomb. And so from it, we understand that they start from the top to the bottom. You can see the rough part, there's chisel marks everywhere. So indeed, they are using chisels and hammers. And by the way, they are made out of iron, because we discovered the chisel in Petra, in Jordan, that is made out of iron. By the way, this place where we are currently is considered as the southern capital of Petra. So everything in this places belong to the Nabateans in Petra, because this is the capital for them. The last thing is to smooth the surface of the tomb by using basalt rock, or the black volcanic rock. It's a black stone, lightweight but very strong, and it's got a rough surface around it. Nowadays, a lot of people use it for skin care, but back then they used to sand the surface with it. And the last thing, they create a square above the bird shape, which is resembling the certificate of ownership. This is where they mention the owner name. And the owner name of this tomb is Lihyan, son of Kuza, and he is a general at the Nabatean army. That's what the archaeological team that excavate in this area predict. So maybe in the year 106 AD, when the Romans invaded the Nabatean lands, he participated in that war, then he got killed, and that's maybe the reason for him not completing his own tomb. Or maybe he didn't have enough funds, let's say, to fund the process of carving his own tomb. But generally, the information that we got about this tomb is the amount of time taken them to carve a tomb like this, because the process of carving a tomb that I told you, the archaeological team put it in a computer simulation, and they say that the number was affected by the size of the tomb, the decorations on it, and the depth of it. And they say that the smallest tomb in this area, it's gonna take them around 3 to 5 months maximum, because it's only an entrance with a small chamber inside, no decorations at all. But this one, since it's the biggest tomb in this area, it's gonna take them around 1 year, 8 months to 2 years maximum. Nothing more than 2 years to finish a tomb like this. Do you have any more questions? Anything that you want to know more about? Yes, sir.
Anything found in the tomb? Skeleton or else?
Do we discover anything inside this tomb?
Yes.
No, we didn't discover anything, because most of the tombs around the heritage site are unfortunately looted. There's an old picture of 2 archaeologists came to Hegra heritage site. They are called Jusin and Sevenyak, and they came by the first Ottoman railway trip. They came in 1909, and they took pictures of the tombs in this area. In the pictures, we discovered that the tombs were already open, already looted, and the eagles, the heads of it to be specific, was already broken. So this is telling us that the tombs were looted hundreds of years ago. So to answer your question more, do we discover anything in another tomb? Not this one. Yes, we discovered 2 tombs, one in 2011, the other one is in 2015, and they are located in a mountain called Jabal al-Ahmar, or the Red Mountain. Later on, when we get out of this area, before we turn right, you're going to see a mountain with multiple tombs in front of us. That is the Red Mountain. That's where they discovered 2 tombs. And how did they discover it? It's just by coincidence, because they were buried under sand dune. And as you know, Al-Ula, it's a desert area, it doesn't rain a lot over here. But in 2011, it was unexpectedly heavily raining at that day, which is reducing the height level of the sand dune, uncovering to us the top part of one of the tombs, which leading the archaeological team to dig and explore that tomb. And they discovered inside it around 80 skeletons. All the 80 are belong to the same family, because they carbon date all the bones. And they took the oldest, or let's say the most intact skeleton, because they believe it's belonged to the owner, and the owner, she's a woman called Hayna bint Wahb, or Hayna, daughter of Wahb, and they used her skull to make a statue of her face. And now the statue is exhibited in a small exhibition in the visitor center. Did you see it or not yet?
Yes.
daughter's mountain or the girl's mountain. How did we know that this tomb is owned by a man or a woman? Simply by translating the inscription inside the box above the bird shape. The inscriptions is written in early Nabatean language. The early Nabatean got letters similar to the Aramaic language. The Aramaic language is considered the grandfather of two languages that we know today, the Arabic and the Hebrew, because all these languages descended from the Aramaic. And it's translated to Arabic because they are Arabs and they speak Arabic, but they write it in a different way than we know it today. And we understand that this tomb in front of us is owned by a man called Eid bin Ubada, or Eid, son of Ubada. We start from the top, from the staircase shape. As I told you, the Nabateans, they have belief in the afterlife. And this is the symbol of that belief. They believe that when someone passed away, their soul gonna go down the stairs on the left side, going down to the underground to be judged on what they did in this life. After they finish from being judged, they're gonna climb the stairs on the right, going up to heaven. So the tour guides here, they call this stairway to heaven. Let's see. Under that, we have the two horizontal lines. We call them here in Saudi Arabia as corniche. This corniche is considered as an Egyptian cultural design, but you need to know that the Egyptian civilization is 5,000 years before the Nabateans. How did a 5,000-year-old cultural design reach to the Nabateans? It's simply because it's passed from one generation to another. The Egyptians, or the pharaohs, they were friends with the Greeks. The Greeks passed this design to their grandchildren, which is, they are the Romans. The Romans, they were allies and friends with the Nabateans. And this is how this design reached the Nabateans. The two pillars to the right and left with the crowns above them, they are considered as Nabatean pillars, and you can see the crowns are looking like birds, similar to the bird that we find in the top of the triangle above the entrance. This bird, some archaeologists say that it's under that we have inside the triangle, we have a face, a human face with snakes to the sides of it. That face is a symbol of the Greek goddess Medusa.
Wow. Wow.
And yes, yes, because the snakes.
That's shocking
and,
here.
They put it inside the triangle for the same purpose, to protect the people inside the tomb, or the bodies buried inside the tomb from getting harmed or getting stoned. Do you have any questions? Anything that you want to know more about?
We walked from that tomb that's right over there around the corner, and then we walked down the rock, and here we go. One more. I cannot believe Medusa is here. That's pretty cool. There's our jeeps. We came to Tomb 1, Tomb 2, Tomb 3, and we're walking around this giant rock. I did say it was a big rock. I didn't know that there were tombs on all sides though. Oh wait, there's Tomb 4 over here. Oh, there's a whole bunch. Pretty cool. So I'm gonna just sneak in here so I can see some of these holes. Let's see. Yeah. These are smaller ones. You can kind of see inside. Huh. This view. So So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. And we have 7 here. Let's see. This is 8. For the afterlife. Nine. Oh wow. Wow, there's 20. There's 26 total here? Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go in number 26. Wow. So there's 26 tombs here. Look at all this. That's insane. So yeah, look at all this. There's 30. So we can go in 26, it appears.
They could build.
We don't know. Maybe they are thieves who want to break the heads and take them as souvenirs.
You want to take some?
Burial places for men. There's one for an infant. And adults. And so these are the holes for men and babies to put the bones. This is our master photographer over here.
Photographer of the videographer.
But yeah, these are the individual holes for the different people, babies, and
It's cool, right?
so it is cool. And over here, looks like there's a rock and some little dwellings there. But then look at this. Look at this landscape. Just wow. And then you have all of this. Fantastic. Let's get a little closer. Yeah, fantastic. I'm just awestruck. This does remind me much of like Arizona and Grand Canyon area, Sedona even, Arizona. There's some similarities, but there's a very different energy. It's very powerful, very calming, very soothing here. So this is a sacred place, representation of all the deities. Trinity. This is the Trinity representation. They represented all the gods. So, openness, diversity. entrance. And that's the passageway we just came through.